SBC Ardmona. Do you remember the slogan for SBC back in the 80s, 90s? For hungry little human beings. Now think about that for a second while I go over this story about SBC Ardmona and what it teaches us about the world. It teaches us two main lessons. One thing is about politicians and the electoral system, and another it teaches us is the economy and the world, the way the money works, and the way both systems are inherently broken and go against their intended aims. Firstly, politicians. Now, the Liberal member Stone has been voicing strong opposition to her own party relating to their denial of any bailout to SBC Ardmona. Now, she looks after that constituency that includes Shepparton. Shepparton is the small town that's going to find itself in dire straits if the factory closes, because it's one of the main employers of the area, and when mass unemployment hits, the locals won't be able to contribute to the economy, so all the connected businesses will also suffer. So the whole community will go down. Now, she's proclaiming that her constituency will suffer as a result, and she's going against her own party. But she's doing this for one purpose, and one purpose alone, and that's just to keep her job. Right? She's engaged in what she knows is an utterly futile fight. She knows she will lose. There's no doubt about it. She's the single voice that nobody's even heard of in the Liberal Party, in the coalition, that's fighting for this town, as if that's going to make any difference. She knows she will lose. But by the sheer act of participating in that engagement, even if it burns the bridges that she has with the Liberal Party, even if it means that she'll become an independent, it also means that she will most likely keep her job as an independent member for that area. She's doing this purely out of self-interestedness, and she's not unique in that regard. All major party politicians are the same. They have no allegiances to each other. They have no allegiances to those who vote for them. They're there only to make themselves look good, only to keep themselves in a job. Think about that. Now, the second thing about the economy. The government allowed the condition which has meant that a small town relies heavily upon one business. And that one business, because it doesn't make enough profit, is going to have its funding cut and its resources shattered and its ability to cope completely removed, because its parent company, massively profitable company, feels that it's not making enough to justify its existence. Irrespective of the consequence to the local community, the parent company seems to have absolutely no regard of the consequences of its actions. It only cares about share prices. Right? Share prices are only valuable when businesses grow. It's a system of unsustainable growth. It's insatiable greed, and it's a destructive force. The business can survive if it's not based on this insatiable greed. It can survive happily making a lot of money if it doesn't account to the shareholders who determine the executives of the company. So the executives are looking after their own jobs by rotting the entire community out of work, just to make them look good. Now, this is not unique to this particular company, it's worldwide. Now, if you're angry at the shareholders for making this so, well, where do you think your superannuation lies, right? Where do you think those investments are actually placed? Now, due to super laws, we've all secured our futures. Every single one of us, we must secure our futures through these systems. But these systems are being secured by the insatiable greed, by the unsustainable growth that's related to this whole problem. So what's the point in trying to secure a future when we're compromising the present? There won't be a future if we keep this up. Now, if you expand this onto the global scale, same problem, closing businesses, moving jobs to different areas. It's the same problem that's been happening for years in the telecommunications industry and recently in manufacturing and in the car and automotive industries. Companies are sending work to cheaper countries, countries where where the same health and safety securities aren't needed, and places where problems in terms of exploitation can be found, places where the protections given to Australian workers aren't necessary. It's self-defeating to do this, because although there's a short-term profit gain by having a lower overhead, in the long run, what that does is take money out of the economy so that the Australian people can't actually afford these goods and services that they're producing. So if they're hoping to increase sales, how the hell is that going to ever happen when everybody's on the dole? Who's going to buy a new car when they can't get a job? The economic system, as a result, has placed all the winning cards into the hands of businesses. So now they can threaten removal of their employment from certain areas unless they're given certain subsidies. Now, it was my understanding that the Australian government and Western nations in general don't negotiate with terrorists. Well, that's exactly what we're doing with businesses right now. Businesses are employing terrorist tactics because that is exactly what is encouraged by the economic system. And we let that happen happily because we feel safe and secure in the idea that our futures are protected when they're not. Now, in terms of the motto again, SPC for hungry little human beings, well, coming from a fish, I'm asking you right now, you human beings, what are you hungry for? Are you hungry for more of the same unemployment? Are you hungry for the same economic ruin? Or are you hungry for the same political bullshit that we're spun day in and day out by self-interested assholes who are only there to look after their own pockets? Is that what you're satisfied with? Does that make you secure in any way, shape or form? What the